Okay, so I've wanted to talk about the Switch for a while now. I've had mine since about release date. But I don't think you can fully appreciate and review a system until you have a decent library of games for it. And honestly, the library has been stale and slow to build since its release. However, now that there's some titles in the library, I think it's safe to review the Nintendo Switch, so let's do this. Now, I held off a bit after release to buy because I wanted the solid black or gray version. And all that was in store when I went was the blue and red version. Yes, there was a number of consoles in store when I got mine. In fact, when I bought mine there was 5 blue and red versions, and I bought the final gray one at my local Target. One of the perks of living in a smaller city. The console itself is very nice and looks amazing. It's not too heavy since it is a hybrid home and portable console, so that's a good thing. I've had no problems with the Joy-Cons, even though I've heard some people have had problems with connectivity. I have yet to experience any issues, though the feel of the controller was a bit strange at first. But that's normal since Nintendo changes their controllers like every single console. After getting used to the feel though, it does feel nice even over long periods of play. I have also heard that some people have had some issues with the console contorting or curving. As far as I can tell, I haven't really had that issue either, or if I have, it's not noticeable. Now honestly, I haven't used the portable feature nothing but once. And that was when I first got it to see what it was like. Now I can't comment on any issues or experiences with that, since I've only used it once to play Zelda for a bit when I first got the console. However, it does look amazing in portable version and on TV too. Before I actually talk about the games, I want to comment on the spine art for the games. It's just so bland and boring. If I had one major complaint with the Switch, it's gotta be the spine art. They all just look the same. But that's just my opinion. Now, onto the games, because a console is only as good as the games to play on it. I have 6 titles so far for my Switch, and we'll briefly go over each one. Initially, when I bought my Switch, I got 2 games for it. Zelda, of course, and Street Fighter. And that was it for a long time. In fact, my only real problem with the console has been the lack of games so far this year. However, I'm glad we're now getting some more games later in the year. Okay, first I'll talk about the obvious choice and game that many people probably bought the Switch for. Zelda Breath of the Wild. And I must say, it does pretty much live up to all the hype. It's not like any recent Zelda game, and is more similar to the first Zelda game, with just throwing you into an open world. Now, I don't want to ruin the story, even though it's your basic Zelda game story. This game is a ton of fun, whether you decide to blast through the story or take your time and explore the whole map, which is huge and will take forever to do. Or if you want, you can pretty much go right up and beat Ganon at the beginning of the game, skipping most of the story. Even after the main quest and story, there's still tons of things to explore and see in this game. Easter eggs and callbacks to other games galore. I'm no super Zelda expert by any means, but I truly enjoyed this game, and even now today I still pop it in to explore and use as a great sandbox game. If you own a Switch, this game is a must-have. Ultra Street Fighter 2 The Final Challengers is another fun little game for the Switch. There's not too much to say. There's all the main memorable characters, and it looks like an updated version of the original Street Fighter 2 on SNES. I haven't played it a ton honestly since I first got it, but still pop it in every once in a while to get my classic fighter game fix. So if you want to get your nostalgia kicking, pick it up for a reasonable price and have a great time. Now, ARMS is a game I was really excited to get when I first saw it because it looks so strange, but honestly, I've only played it twice. It's been a bit hard to get the controls down, and I haven't had a lot of time to put into it to figure it out. I get the feeling it'd be a lot more fun to have some friends over and play, but for now, I don't have much to say about it. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is an amazingly fun racing game, and another must-have for the Switch. Now, here's a guilty confession of mine. Until this game, I never played a Mario Kart game, mainly because I never had Nintendo consoles growing up. And even after I got the Wii, I just didn't have money to buy many new games. But I'm oh so glad I picked this one up. I've had a blast playing it when my brother comes over to play, but even solo, it's still a lot of fun. Now on to my 2 most recent games, and sadly I haven't got to play either a whole lot yet. Mario Odyssey and Sonic Forces. First, Mario Odyssey. From what I've played, it's been amazing, and working on possibly becoming one of the best Mario games I've ever played, and I've played a ton of Mario games. It's just been so much fun, even though I'm only on the Sand Kingdom world, or whatever. I've had an insane amount of fun playing, and seriously can't wait to play more. It reminds me kinda of Mario Galaxy or the 3D Land and World games, which Galaxy is probably my favorite Mario game yet. This game may well take that top spot for me. There's just so much to see and do, and I'm only at the beginning still. Lastly, we have Sonic Forces. This game I was actually looking forward to even more than Mario. Sadly, I haven't had quite as much fun playing it as I had Mario. I do have to say I was surprised when I saw it in store, and the cost was much cheaper than most Switch games. Again, with Sonic, I'm a huge fan of the Sonic games, and have played about all of them, and Sega had been on a roll with releasing lots of great new Sonic games, like Colors and Generations, the latter of which is, in my opinion, one of the best Sonic games ever made. Forces does seem to fall a little short in comparison, mainly because of the controls. It's been hard to find any groove or rhythm in the game. The point of a Sonic game is to blast through a level and have a great time. The layout and controls of Forces, however, have definitely been troublesome, as every time I get to going, I seem to get hit or the stage layout plays against getting a good flow. Again, I haven't played much of this one yet, as I'm only at the beginning still. I also don't care much for the character creation. It's just not something I wanted in a Sonic game. I would rather just play as existing characters all the time. However, it's not all bad, as I love the music and the story so far has been fantastic. All the levels and look of the game gives me a callback to the 90s Sonic cartoon by Deke. The despair and troubles of the freedom fighters is expressed more in this game than other recent Sonic games. It just feels much darker and has a more bleak tone, which I do enjoy. I'd like to go and review some of these games in better detail once I have some more time to better play them. But as of now, I've really enjoyed the Nintendo Switch despite the slow takeoff due to lack of games at the beginning. So if you're looking to buy a Switch, I recommend doing it now before the holiday season, because they may become hard to find. Plus, now there's some games to play on it even if you're not a Zelda fan, which was basically all you had to play on the Switch at release and for a while. I highly recommend getting a Switch, even if just for the core titles. The cost, I believe, is worth it. And with increasing third-party support, things are only looking like they will get better. Well, that's my thought on the Switch and some of the games. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will be back with more videos in the future. Later.